Good evening. I'd like to call the regular monthly meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance?
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening mindful of the needs to give thanks for the many blessings that continually come our way. We are grateful for our dedicated employees, our diligent students, and our supportive parents and community. And we are grateful for the leadership opportunities you give us to serve the children of our parish. As we dismiss for the Thanksgiving holidays at the end of this week, we pray that you keep our St. Bernard Parish school family members safe and particularly protect those who may be traveling over the week-long break. Help our staff to find rest and renewal, and help us all to be mindful of your goodness and mercy in our lives. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Mr. Smith, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Ms. Foche.
Mr. Campbell?
Here.
Mr. Egan?
Here.
Ms. Jackson?
Here.
Ms. Lee Bowman? Ms. Lemoyne?
Here.
Mr. England? Ms. Dysart?
Here.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Warner?
Here.
And Ms. White?
Here. Thank you, Ms. Foche. First item on the agenda is a recognition of Ms. Darlene Aceveda, and her daughter was going to appear tonight, so and I don't see her in attendance, so if we could just, we'll move this to the next monthly meeting, okay? All righty. Next item on the agenda is the communications update. Ms. Pritchard, we are ready for some super news.
Ready for some good news.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We are very excited to share our November communications updates with all of you. First up is a recent press release that announced Chalmette High School football coach Jason Tucker securing the record for all-time wins. And as congratulations to him and the team, because they won their first playoff game this past Friday and is moving on. We're going to keep going with all this good news to the second round of playoffs. This Friday, it's a home game, which we're super excited about, yes, against West Monroe at 7 o'clock. So we invite everyone in the community to come out, support our Chalmette Owls, our coaches, and our school. So we're very excited about that game this Friday night. Go Owls. The next press release that went out is again for some of our Chalmette High School teams. Our cross-country team captured a double championship with both our boys and our girls teams crowned as district champs. And so we'd like to send a congratulations to them on a job very well done. And we'd also like to shout out Alyssa Hernandez, who is the only senior on the girls cross-country team, who is district champion as well as the MVP for that team. And just recently, we were fortunate enough to have Dr. Kay Brumley, the State Superintendent of Education for the Louisiana Department of Education, and Assistant Superintendent of School System Relations, Trey Folse, visit two of our campuses. One was Arlene Miro Elementary, and the other one was Chalmette High School. They were able to learn about our outreach initiatives, and we showcased many of our extensive programs offerings. At Arlene Miro, it was very lovely. Dr. Brumley actually led an after-school faculty meeting for the teachers at Arlene Miro, and it was lovely. They were able to share their thoughts with him, participated in a Q&A, and he recognized them for their incredible efforts and daily contributions to education. So we'd like to extend a thank you to the Louisiana Department of Education. And it looks like we will have another visit coming from them again shortly in the coming weeks. So hopefully I'll have something to update for that next visit during our December update. Before we move on to analytics, I just wanted to share with all of you that we created a social media campaign this week that we're right in the middle of around the spirit of giving thanks. Monday was thank a teacher. Today was thank a colleague. Previewing tomorrow will be Thank a Healthcare Worker, and Thursday will be Thank a Friend. We will close out the week on Friday with a compilation video giving thanks and wishing our students, families, staff, and community a joyous and restful holiday season. And so we invite all of you and everyone watching to join us in sharing our gratitude. So we're very excited about that social media campaign right now. Some more good news. We are up in all of our social media analytics. We've been doing a very good job. We're posting daily and sometimes multiple times a day right now. We've received a lot of positive feedback from our families and our staff. They feel like they're very well informed and get to see a lot of the good happening in our school. So we're going to continue with that momentum and that pace going forward. You can see here our analytics. We're up page views, likes, reaches, all of those things. Understandably so, our press release about Coach Jason Tucker was our largest release with almost 13,000 people being a part of that release. For Twitter, we are up 4.2%, and we have gained 7 followers over the last 28 days. I think if you remember, we just started this in August, and so slow and steady wins the race. We're excited that more people are recognizing that we're expanding our outreach and our communications. We're doing really well on our district website analytics. Our new website, all of the user-friendly accessibility and features is working really well. We're making sure to update that on a daily basis. We have 22,740 total visits in the last 28 days. We have 30,933 page views, and then out of that 22,000 and change total visits, over 20,000 was targeted, which means people were directly searching for our website, and that was their intended end location, which is wonderful. The other 2,000 is, they found us through a different means. I would also like to just provide you with these graphics for our teacher features. You will see them on our November Super News, but thank you to Stacy Shank from Ncaa Elementary, Jody Krafasi from Joe Davies Elementary, and Mr. Randy Bradley. Andrew Jackson is the one that gave him this shout out for our Teacher Feature Tuesday. However, he is our ELL student teacher for all 3 of our middle schools, and so they were all very thankful for the work that he does with our students that need his services. We have a few exciting pieces of new information, one of which is we will conduct our Teacher of the Year interviews on December 1st. We're very excited to have some community leaders, some members of our board, and educators conduct these interviews to select our elementary, middle, and high school district winners. Those winners will then compete for statewide consideration. We anticipate being able to let you know who those district-wide winners are at our next communications update in December. As you all know, Annalise Cassar-Tedesco is our 2022 Louisiana Teacher of the Year, and we just wanted to give a huge shout out and thank you to Community Coffee, the Louisiana Department of Education, and Dream Teachers for delivering community coffee to the Shawmut High School Teachers Lounge this past week. There's a lovely little picture there for you. This is in recognition and celebration of Annalise being named the Teacher of the Year. And so thank you very much for that. I am super excited to share with you an upcoming event that our elementary schools are taking part in. It is our 2nd and 3rd grade students for all of our elementary schools. We are participating in the NCAA's Read to the Final Four Literacy Challenge. This supports our accelerated reading program that's already in place. Our 2nd and 3rd grade students will compete in this challenge by reading their way to the top 4. Other parishes that are joining in are Jefferson Parish, New Orleans, St. Charles, and St. Tammany. Each week, their earned ARP points will be logged and reported to the NCAA. The top 4 schools will be invited to the convention center where they will experience a day of play, meet the players that are in the Final Four, and receive prizes. The very top school will receive a monetary donation. In trying to get our kids excited about this, the NCAA has been able to have us schedule a fan jam event where they will bring, and you can see there's some pictures here as well, basically an entire event into our gyms. And so I have the dates for all of the schools except for Chalmette Elementary here. We finalized Chalmette Elementary's date, which is Friday, January 21st. So all of our elementary schools will be able to see this. So if you go to page 9, it gives you a little information about what Read to the Final Four is. And then on page 10, it actually shows you how they set up for the Fan Jam jam. It's really going to be exciting. We're very thankful that we're able to take part in this year. Last year, they only extended the invite to Jefferson Parish and New Orleans. And so this year, we're very excited to be a part of this. So we will make sure to be there to take some footage. So in future Super News, you'll be able to see all of that, exciting news. And we are rooting for our elementary schools. We hope that they'll be able to go to the convention center and have a fun day of play. With that said, it is time for our November edition of Super News. So Barry and Jack, we're ready for you.
There was propaganda at the Moment Center, the State Superintendent of Education in the studio, and a record-breaking performance on the football field. All of these stories and more on this November edition of Super News.
Hi, I'm Lexi Pritchard.
And I'm Barry Lamorne, and welcome to Super News, where we take a look at all the good things happening in our school system. We'll begin today's show with some propaganda, the good kind, as the new season of academic games began in a new venue, the beautiful Moment Center in Old Araby. Recently, 236 students from schools across St. Bernard Parish gathered to take part in the first of the tournament season, one that tests students' listening and critical thinking skills, as well as their understanding of persuasion techniques. Congratulations to all of our players, our game winners, coaches, and judges who helped make this event possible.
And while these students were competing in an academic competition, many others were excelling in athletics. Our volleyball team recently finished its first season under new coach Mallory Chapetta. The Lady Owls enjoyed a 20-win season and qualified for the state playoffs once again.
In football, the Fighting Owls claimed a district championship for the first time since 2015, going undefeated in district play. And with the recent homecoming victory, Coach Jason Tucker became the all-time winningest coach in school history.
The Owls followed up this big victory with an exciting playoff win against Houghton. It was a thriller up to the last seconds, but the Owls prevailed. And with the victory, the team advances to the next round in another home game. Congratulations, Owls.
Our cross-country teams continued their legacies of excellence as both the boys and girls won the district championship again. Special kudos to Alyssa Hernandez, who was named as the district MVP.
Congratulations to her and to all of our outstanding student athletes and coaches. Oh, and speaking of sports, let's head over to Arlene Miro Elementary, where the Saints brought members of its junior training camp to the school to teach the kids some football fundamentals and the importance of physical activity.
And now let's head up the road to Araby and meet our Super News team there.
Hi, I'm Lily.
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome to Araby Elementary for today's Super News.
We'll begin with a look back, way back to the golden age of Greece, when our second graders celebrated their annual Greek Day. After reading about ancient Greece and Greek myths, students and teachers had fun wearing costumes, making shields, and participating in some Olympic games.
In our Greek classes, I heard Poseidon was not really a good student.
Really?
Yes, I guess it's because his grades were always below a C.
And speaking of the sea, our third graders recently enjoyed an Under the Sea Day. We may not have an ocean nearby, but with a little creativity and imagination, our students made a lot of fun discoveries when they went on a deep sea adventure to celebrate the end of their Wit and Wisdom Sea unit. Sea-themed activities, games, and books were all part of the fun.
Apples were at the core of another school celebration when we had an Apple Day. Keeping up with the tradition, our students celebrated Johnny Appleseed's birthday in a number of ways. They used their 5 senses to experience different kinds of apples and apple foods. It was the final activity after learning about 5 senses and celebrating an American hero.
And now let's meet the head alligator in charge here at school.
So I had a full circle experience here in Araby in the community, and just this year I was able to witness another full circle experience. Our fateful year in 2006, I had a beautiful class of first graders at Andrew Jackson, and one particularly beautiful young lady and wonderful young student, Miss Olivia Gonzalez. And this year, in May, at our job fair, I was able to hire Miss Olivia Gonzalez to be a wonderful second grade teacher and join our staff here at Araby Elementary. And hopefully her experience is the same as mine. I know she'll do great. To see these people in the community, to see parents coming in with their kids, to meet grandparents at Grandparents' Day activities that were parents of my students, you know, that gives them a really a sense of security, a sense of warmth, and I feel like it portrays how I want school to be for our students.
Thank you for everything you do.
And now we'll go to the STARS, Starbase that is, to see some of the hands-on learning taking place with our 5th graders. Starbase is an educational outreach program that focuses on science, technology, engineering, and math while incorporating personal goal setting and teamwork.
Starbase is truly out of this world. And before we go, let's take a look back at some of the fun that was had at our recent Fall Fun Day.
All of us were able to participate in several activities throughout the school, in class and out of class, highlighted by a beach volleyball game against our teachers. It was a fun day and a fun way to kick off the fall season.
Thanks to our Araby family for making school such a fun place for all of us.
And thank you all for watching.
And now back to our friends at Penn TV.
Bye! Bye!
Great job, alligators. And in other good news, through its Helping Kids mini grant program, AASA, the School Superintendents Association, recently donated funds to the St. Bernard Parish Public School System in support of students and families impacted by natural disasters this year. Our schools used this generous donation to purchase social-emotional learning boxes for our entire student population and tools for our sensory therapy rooms housed in each of our 12 schools.
We have some really awesome things that were given to us by our grant money for our students. For example, some really awesome sorting activities. We got our weighted blankets, weighted vests, lots of sensory toys, the fish tube, compression rollers, you name it, we got it over here.
Our schools also recently celebrated its district-wide Red Ribbon Week. With a theme of Strong Together Against Bullying and Drugs, the aim of the program is to raise awareness of substance abuse and bullying and the problems related to the developmental concerns of young people. This national campaign was highlighted with a visit by guest artists from the MASH unit, who brought an epic performance to many of our students.
You know what's going on in your life. What I want you to do is use whatever negative stuff that may be happening with your parents, with your peers, maybe even in your own life. Just start making different decisions. You know, let that stuff motivate you. You don't have to be a byproduct of negative things that happen to you. You can take ownership and you say, you know what, this is motivation. It's gonna make me focus on my work. It's gonna make me focus on my goals, going to college, starting a business, whatever your dreams are. This is gonna make me work harder towards that so that I won't be another version of those broken stories that we may come from.
And now we go from a red ribbon to a blue ribbon of sorts, as for the 28th year in a row, the St. Bernard Parish Public School System has once again been awarded Certificates of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association and the Association of School Business Officials for its annual comprehensive financial report, the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Congratulations to David Fernandez and to our business team for the great work you do each day.
It's been 28 straight years, which is a wonderful feat, and it just shows wonderful accounting practices and that this school board and school system are good stewards of the public's monies. So we appreciate all of your hard work, Mr. Fernandez, Ms. Voce, and all of your staff members, Mr. Fernandez, who do an excellent job.
And speaking of great work, we'd like to give a shout out to the 3 teachers who were featured in this month's Teacher Feature. Thank you to Stacy Shank of Ncaa Elementary School, Jody Crafassi of Davies Elementary, and Randy Bradley at Andrew Jackson for your excellence in the classroom each day. We appreciate your positive example.
And now let's visit one of our middle schools as we hear from the team at Andrew Jackson.
Hello, I'm Jo Emily Rivera Torres.
And I'm Lamarcus Stevenson, and welcome to Andrew Jackson to Super News, which kicks off with football. Our team finished off a great season by going undefeated. Our explosive offense was led by Lee Everidge and Giovanni Green. As for the defense, veteran starters Lamarcus Stevenson, that's me, and Rodney Davis continued to make huge plays, helping to keep opponents out of the end zone. The Colonel's football team is coached by Derek Myers, Sean Beckwood, Sean Williams, Ryan Dinger, and Kyle Brunell. Go Colonels.
Our volleyball coach, Sherry Nellick, says this year's team has been a pleasure to coach. Joey Augustine, Saley Wolf, and Alexis Clausen have shown so much leadership this season and have been a big part of the team's success. Congrats to our players and coach.
Hey Jay, what do you call a girl standing in the middle of a volleyball court? A net. Get it? Anyways, let's take a minute to meet our principal, Ms. LaCharlie. Thanks for all you do.
Hi, I'm Andrea LaCharlie. I'm principal of Andrew Jackson Middle School. I have been an educator for 22 years. I started out at Shelman High School teaching math. I wanted to be a teacher when my cousin needed some serious help in college algebra. So I helped him and I fell in love with teaching. I knew then that I wanted to become a teacher and work at Shelman High under Mr. Warner. Love Mr. Warner. St. Bernard Parish is a great district with great educators who motivate and inspire people. And we want to be like the people who led us.
In other news, our school's drama club is back in action and working hard on our zombie play. It's silly, bloody, and action-packed and will take place this January. Actors, tech crew, and the ever-present zombie horde have started rehearsals on this full-length play and are so excited to bring it to life for audiences. The drama club is sponsored by Amber Alexander.
Our 8th grade Quest for Success students just finished a unit about being an entrepreneur, so it only seemed fitting that we put them to work. They wrote business plans and created a prototype for their very own food truck. They didn't disappoint with their creativity.
Well, that's all the time for us here at AJ.
We'll see you next time, and now back to you guys in the studio. Bye!
Thanks, Colonels. And thanks also go out to State Superintendent Dr. Kate Brumley and Assistant Superintendent Trey Folse of the Louisiana Department of Education, who visited 2 of our schools recently to learn about our extensive program offerings. Dr. Brumley also led an after-school faculty meeting with our teachers. It was a great visit, and we appreciate him sharing his time and vision with our school family.
We need to do everything that we can to inject the arts into our schools. Unfortunately, so many times it becomes a financial concern, and how do schools afford that when there are so many other competing interests. And so one of the things that we're trying to do right now at the state level is think about how can we reimagine arts integration into schools so that potentially schools would have the funding available to integrate art into other disciplines.
Also sharing time and talent with our students were 2 professional artists who visited Shelman High School as part of the Art Strong series. Let's take a look.
I wasn't going to major in music. I was going to be a broadcast journalism major because I was in the TV production program, same program that Jack Jackson was in back when we were in high school. And for me, I was good at it, but not as good as I was at this other thing. And that tug it just kept pulling at my heartstrings, and I was in the right place at the right time with the right people who encouraged me to go ahead and change my major to music. So I had to start from the bottom, learning how to read music. So it was a long journey, but I did it, and you could all do it too if you want to.
Also taking place at the high school were all of the traditions and pageantry that are a part of homecoming week. The big football game, the crowning of the court, and an in-person dance were all part of the homecoming celebrations.
That's about all the time we have, but before we go, we wanted to congratulate our school-wide Teachers of the Year. These dynamic educators represent all that is good in our schools each and every day, and we are proud to call them ours. Congratulations.
And we'll meet each of them in next month's very special Super News. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month on Super News,
where we always let
the Super News roll.
Well, thank you, Ms. Pritchett and Jack and Barry in the back. We appreciate all the wonderful super news that we have in our school system, and we do have a lot of super news, absolutely. We're so blessed to have all the Teachers of the Year who teach with us every year, and the fact that they were named Teachers of the Year goes way beyond achievement, because they are they vote at each individual school amongst their peers. And so congratulations to each and every one of them. And on Shelmet High's volleyball team that won district and went to the state playoffs. The cross-country team who won district and went to state. And now the football team who won district and are vying in their second playoff game this Friday night. So congratulations to all those teams and to all the coaches who support our kids and help them to achieve their dreams also. So congratulations, and Ms. Pritchett, great job on Super News, and we appreciate the communications that you have been doing an excellent job on. And with that, I'll ask if there are any questions or any other comments at this time. I have one question about our superintendent, state superintendent, Dr. Kate Brumley. He's coming back here, and what is the date of that, Ms. Bocai?
We're hoping that he will be a member of the group that comes on December 1st. And they will be looking at the Jump Start, the CTE program, the dual enrollment program, but especially the Fast Forward program, with the partnership with Ncaa Community College on our students being able, we're going to be spotlighted because we have so many of our students who are earning the associate degrees, and we've been in that program really longer than the Fast Forward program that's coming into existence now. So he will, they'll be spending part of the morning at Shelmet High School, and then moving over to Ncaa in the early afternoon to look at some of our students who are participating in those particular classes and earning their associate degrees. So once that's done, we'll come back with a lot of that video and those things at our December meeting.
Well, I think it's great that the state superintendent has not only visited our schools, but now coming back for a second time. And we actually are, I guess, kind of the pioneers with the dual enrollment from years ago. I know we began in the 80s, and now it's just grown incredibly. And now we're, I guess, an example of how these programs, the dual enrollment and the Fast Forward, can work. And he's using us as an example, I guess, to show other districts. So it's great that St. Bernard Parish is at the forefront of these programs. In addition, it was something how he was talking about the arts and bringing art into education for further achievement. And then right after that, here we are, our former students are talking about art and the arts and making academics stronger through art also. And, you know, we already have programs in place and with our cultural arts program and all our other art programs. So it's great that, St. Bernard Parish is being recognized by the state and used as an example of exemplary performance and activities for our students.
Well, the master class is that Art Strong program that Annalise Cassar Tedesco is doing, where she's bringing back some. You saw Kristen Bauer, Margie Afava, whatever, I know them by their names when they were students here, who's a wonderful operatic singer and such, and has done tremendous work around the area. She was one that came back. But today, I don't know if you remember Jordan Lord, who grew up with us and performed and such, and he's in New York now working, and he makes he does documentaries as well, and he was in the film festival here this week, and he's gotten first place with some of his documentaries. The one he submitted to the New Orleans Film Festival, he got a second place in that, but Annalise took the opportunity to bring him to Chalmette High this morning and did a master class with him and our students about his real life experiences in making documentary filming and what opportunities that he's been able to avail himself of. And I mean, that's wonderful. When we do this December 1st visit right now, and we'll talk about this maybe more at the December meeting, but we're currently in partnership with Ncaa, the associate degrees in the process technology that we have, the new aerospace that they've got going, many of the technical courses. We're looking to do that full apprenticeship in the nursing as well, which is another step, and one that we're submitting to begin in June has to do with an associate degree with the emphasis in fine arts that we're going to be submitting, because you have to go through Department of Education and Board of Regents and Workforce Investment Commission to get all of these approved. Ncaa has to do it from their end, from the academic end. We have to do it through the Workforce Commission to get those approved and sanctioned for the Jump Start and the Fast Forward program. So we're in the process of developing several more of those associate degrees and certificates of technical studies as we speak. So it is increasing, and it'll be a wide variety that we're offering. Kids who are interested in the fine arts and performing arts, kids who are interested in the process technology, kids who are interested in aerospace. So there's a lot of different interests that they can pursue, as well as a general education associate degree, which is the forerunner to then the transferring to a four-year university. So it's an exciting time as we're trying to work through all of these different departments and commissions to get all of these approvals. And, our friends over at Ncaa, Catherine is over there as well, Dr. Tenney, and I mean, we started this when Tommy Warner was the chancellor years ago, and developing those dual enrollment opportunities. And it has grown into more and more with an emphasis on the associate degrees as well. So we've seen that evolution over the years, and we're excited about it. So we'll bring some more news back to you in December to discuss some of what we did.
Thank you, Ms. Voce. The opportunities here for our students is just incredible.
And just as Ms. Fauché said, it's an exciting time, and I just want to mention it is an exciting time to live here, and it's an exciting time for our students to go to school here. It's also an exciting time to teach in our schools, and in December we will talk a little more about applications for our 2022 cohort for Teach St. Bernard. And so if anyone is out there and thinking about joining our amazing system, we'll be able to share more information about that next month.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you again, Ms. Pritchard. Are there any questions or any other comments at this time? Okay. Well, thanks. Great job. We appreciate it. Okay. Next item on the agenda is an approval to incorporate the report of the General Committee meeting minutes of November 9th, 2021 into the minutes of the November 16th, 2021 regular monthly meeting. There's a motion by Mr. Long. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Lemoyne. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Next item are the review of personnel changes for November 2021.
You just see highlighted in yellow the changes that have been made since the last meeting. And again, this is for informational purposes.
Are there any questions at this time? Okay, there being none, thank you for providing that information for us, Ms. Voce. Next item on the agenda is an approval of revised 2021-22 general fund and special revenue funds budgets. And there was a recommendation by the committee, and we have with us tonight Mr. Fernandez. Is there a motion on the floor at this time? There's a motion to accept the 2021-22 general fund and special revenue budget. Motion by Mr. England, seconded by Mr. Smith. Any discussion or are there any questions at this time on the budgets? And of course, we reviewed these at our committee meeting. Okay, there being no questions, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. Next item is an approval of the resolution to employ Hammond, Sills, Atkins, Geis, Noah, and Perkins, LLP, as special counsel. There was a recommendation by the committee. Is there a motion on the floor at this time? Okay, there's a motion by Ms. Lemoyne. Second by Ms. Jackson. Any discussion? Or any questions? Okay. And I will read the resolution into the minutes. Whereas Louisiana Revised Statutes 42-263 authorizes the retention of special counsel by any school board upon a statement of reasons why such counsel is necessary and upon the approval of the Attorney General. And whereas the St. Bernard Parish School Board has employed the law firm Hammond, Sills, Atkins, Geis, Noah, and Perkins, LLP, formerly known as Hammonds and Sills, since 2012 as its special counsel with experience, training, and expertise in school law issues including, but not limited to, special education, school personnel matters, public bid law, and general school board policy matters involving compliance with the federal and state laws and regulations, including due process hearings, tenure hearings, and misconduct investigations, and the handling of administrative hearings and litigation in state and federal courts. And whereas through its representation of the St. Bernard Parish School Board and various school boards throughout the state of Louisiana, the law firm of Hammond, Sills, Atkins, Geis, Noah, and Perkins, LLP, has special experience, training, and expertise in those issues of school law. Therefore, be it only duly resolved by the St. Bernard Parish School Board in regular session, duly convened, Section 1, this school board does hereby renew the employment of the law firm of Hammond, Sills, Atkins, Geis, Noah, and Perkins, LLP, as special counsel with training, experience, and expertise in school law matters, including but not limited to special education, school personnel matters, public bid law, and general policy matters, to include administrative hearings and litigation with respect thereto for the purpose of advising, consulting with, and representing the school board in connection with such legal matters involving the school system. Section 2, said law firm shall be paid for their services at hourly rates equal to the maximum hourly fee schedule for special counsel published by the Attorney General of the state of Louisiana in effect at the time of the services, except that the paralegal rate should be $75 an hour and to be reimbursed for out-of-pocket expenses for long-distance calls, document duplication, expert witness fees, court reporter fees, printing costs, travel expenses, and other expenses as a result of the legal services to and for this school board. Section 3, said law firm shall keep itemized time records for presentation to the superintendent with respect to services rendered at said hourly rates and the expenses incurred, and the superintendent is hereby authorized and directed to pay upon submission and receipt thereof. Section 4, this employment shall continue and is effective immediately upon adoption of this resolution, given under our hand in the seal of the St. Bernard Parish School Board on the 16th day of November 2021. Does the board wish to join in a joint acclamation?
Yes.
All in favor of the joint acclamation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda are items to be placed on the next committee meeting agenda. Does anyone have anything at this time? Okay, there being none, you always have until prior to the next general committee meeting to add any items. Next item on the agenda, superintendent's notes. Ms. Voce.
Just that we'll have a special meeting for my evaluation prior to the committee meeting on the first Tuesday of December, whichever date that is. Okay. And secondly, we gave such an extensive communications report in Super News. It's everything that we're going to say, just to reemphasize that Friday night will be the second round of the playoffs against West Monroe, but at Shelmet High Stadium. We would hope that many members of the community would come and support the team in that endeavor. And Friday being the last day of school before the week-long Thanksgiving holiday, and we wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving holiday, and please be safe if travel will occur during that week. Come back renewed and refreshed for the stretch until Christmas.
Thank you, Ms. Voce. And with the superintendent's evaluation, if you would get your evaluations in prior to the actual evaluation so they can be compiled, okay? I thank you. And on behalf of the board, we want to wish everyone a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and go Owls. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move we adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Campbell, seconded by Mr. Egan. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you and good night.